The lap band is a very simple device, and how it works is very simple. We place this band around the top part of your stomach because the top part of your stomach is where the nerves are that send a signal to your brain that say, I'm full. Remember when you eat the Thanksgiving dinner? Or in the second plate and the third plate, at least that's how I eat Thanksgiving dinner. The food falls to the bottom of the stomach, and eventually the food gets to the top of the stomach, and when it gets to the top of the stomach, a signal goes to your brain and says, we're satisfied. We don't need to send any more food down. What the lap band does is it sits around the top part of your stomach, and your stomach becomes like a funnel. So food stays up there for a while, sending a signal to the brain saying, I'm full. Now how do we know how to adjust the band? The band inside of it has a little balloon. And the little balloon is attached to this tubing, which is attached to this port, which sits underneath the skin on the abdomen. Now it's not anywhere where you can see it. It's not going to poke out. It's not going to be seen while you're wearing clothes or even if you're walking on a beach somewhere, but we will be able to feel it so that we can access it. We put a small little needle in this here in the office, and in that we put saline or salt water. Put a little small amount in that, and it fills up this balloon, and it tightens around that stomach. It squeezes the anatomy. So what happens is food stays in the upper part of the stomach longer, and you're satisfied for longer. Now how does that work? You've all been to the grocery store when you're hungry. And you know when you go to the grocery store to you're hungry, what gets into your cart? It typically isn't more asparagus, and it's typically not more broccoli. It might be more cookies. It might be more junk food. But imagine when you go to the grocery store when you're full, you're like a typical guy. When I go to the grocery store when I'm full, I have a list, I have a mission, I go in, I get the stuff, and I leave. It's the same way when you're hungry at home. When you go home and you're hungry, what do you have to eat? Typically what you grab to eat is not an apple and it's not a carrot. It's typically something out of the pantry that's highly processed, highly refined. Imagine eating less and feeling satisfied for a prolonged period of time. That's how the band works. Let me give you another example. You know that you probably tried eating lean cuisine, or maybe you've tried some of these diet plans where they send you little pre-packaged menus or little meals that come in little tiny packages, and you're eating those and you lose weight. But what's your first thought when you eat one of those? The first thought usually is, I'm hungry, or where's dinner? And if you look at those, they don't have that many calories in them, maybe 300 calories, maybe 400, but you're not satisfied. Imagine if you were able to eat that and be satisfied. And not just satisfied for an hour or two, but for 3 or 4 hours. You'd lose weight. Weight loss is a very simple mathematical formula. Calories in, calories out. Your body is a perfect, and I mean a perfect, calorie counter. I used to think that whenever someone wasn't watching me when I was eating a donut that it didn't count. Well, it does. Your body is a perfect calorie counter. But you know, the body is also, when it's full, it's a lot less tempting to have the other stuff that's around that's maybe not so good for you. With a lap band, you lose weight because two things happen. First, you're full with a smaller amount of food. Second, you're not hungry between meals. And if you start getting hungry, the great thing is we can adjust the band. It's done simply, easily, right here in the office. It takes longer to actually sit in the office and wait for us to see you than it does to do the actual adjustment. So the lap band works, and it works well, and it works simply. We don't rearrange your guts. We don't have you take lots of vitamin shots. It's very simple.